What's up, guys? Artilbo here. Today we're doing probably a pretty interesting video. Now, this is not going to be me, like, we're going to do any of that crazy, test videos out there. So these are knives, or pocket knives out there, that I have in my collection. And by judging on, what, you'll see things like, a couple of the tips broke off and stuff like that. So instead of me going to test it, probably destroying something out there. So we're going to be testing. So we're going to be doing a video more kind of a special out there. So if I can't, I know that I can't like just test them out with water bottles and stuff like that. So we're going to do something a little different. How about 8 knives that will be you guys can identify and maybe give me some information I needed and how, rare or expensive it is. So let's begin. So let's talk about this guy itself. So I'm calling it the Unknown Black Horn pocket knife. So here's what it looks like. So here's the name out there. I don't know. It's probably weird out there. Now this one's a pretty good condition. Well, I say used out there. It's just gonna be honest here. Okay, this one's doesn't have any of the parts broken off or something. So let's go see. Got the normal blade, a small blade, basically a bottle opener, flathead screwdriver, and a can opener. Of course, I got the ring out there, the ring for it. So the overall size on this thing, so the body of the knife is basically, or pocket knife is like 4.5 or 3.5 inches out there. Meanwhile, the main blade out there is basically of 2.5 inches. Meanwhile, for the smaller variant, it's basically 1.5 inches. Meanwhile, for the overall size, for basically for two of the biggest parts out there. Is going to be the overall size of basically with the little little bottle opener. It's basically of 8 inches. While the bottle opener is going to be around about like 1.5 inches. And of course, the can opener, it's basically just the overall size of, well, basically 1 inch. Another identification you can probably see is the sides out there have like a little, basically, a caved in bump out there on all sides, and it's basically rounded but not smooth. So, next. So, our next one is the Colonial Province Ranger knife. Here's the Ranger, which unfortunately it's a little faded. Just the cover of the body out there, and of course it has like a Morse code on there. It's right here. Okay, let's see. They got the main blade, which it's a little tip broke off, and yeah, I feel like that if I hit the thing out there, it would break off or something. Okay. And, of course, we got the bottle opener right here. And, of course, hexagon, or no, it's not hexagon, the flathead screwdriver. So, the overall size. Oh yeah, let's see. It got the company, Colonial Province, R.I, and of course, USA. So, overall size, the size length. So, size on this guy is like 2.5 inches. Meanwhile, for the body itself is like 3.5 inches. Meanwhile, the overall size is 6 inches. Next. Ah, yes. Another unknown pearl knife, which you can definitely see from it. It's basically kind of like a Stockman piece. And the weird part about this is, I don't know what on earth this... I think it might be like Russian, Pakistani, or something. Should have put it upside down or something? Yeah, it's very weird. It's actually on, like, look at this. That's just like maybe Indian language. Not sure, but unfortunately, I don't know what it is, or even the. Is it? I'm sorry, but is it really English or something? So, unfortunately, yeah, this side is have no pearl body on there, just on one side out there. Yeah, funny. Yeah, most of these knives I have are basically used out there. I got these from a car show out there. So let's talk about the blade or the size out there. Size length. It is 2 inches. Basically 2 inches. If focus, yeah, 2 inches. Okay, right there. Meanwhile, for the really much the smaller guy out there, it's basically of on 2 inches on this guy. The size is, if the thing's focusing, like 2 inches. Meanwhile, for the other small guy out there, it's gonna be of 1 inch, like a pretty small inch out there. Meanwhile, the overall size, including both blades out there, are going to be the estimated amount of, let's see. The overall size is going to be 7 inches. Next. This one I've actually did looked at this recently. So this is a Ulister out there. Of course, this is another Ulister Stockman. Okay, talk about the... See right here. So this is the Stockman itself. So you got the clip point. You got the clip point. Got the straight edge. And of course you got the honing edge out there. So why is it... Now, you can see why. Yeah, the piece is broken off. So, of course, it actually has horn on this, or wood, I guess. Which, I gotta be honest here, it looks like beef jerky. Most of this stuff, most of these really vintage knives looks like beef jerky. So, overall size. It's gonna be almost 2 inches. It's gonna be like almost 2 inches. The straight edge, it's gonna be the overall size of, well, basically of, let's see, 1 inch. Let's see, 1 inch. 1 inch. Meanwhile, for the honing side is basically, again, 1 inch. Meanwhile, for the overall size is 6 inch. Overall size is 6 inches. Next. Oh, what do we have here? Old timer. I should have known. Now, the reason why I'm decided not to test this guy is because, well, yeah, that's not good. The tip broke off or something, which is very unfortunate out there. If it was actually completed out there, I would test it, but unfortunately, just like everything, just like this guy, it just won't do it. So let's go see. This is have like the brown with tan all over it, like faded out, like faded to tan out there. They got the clip point. I don't know. Is it meant to be like a buck style or something, or like a straight edge? I've seen some of them out there. And of course the drop point edge, which, yeah, kind of like a drop point edge. So, and of course you have old timer, and of course this side is actually says Schrade Walden in New York, USA. Now, funny part about it is the actual company of old timers actually went out of business out there, but they still sell old timer stuff up there. If you can see I actually had a couple of them out there, like the Sharpfinger and everything. So let's talk about the size out there. So I guess the main blade is like, it's like maybe 2.5, almost a half out there. Almost 2.5 inches right here. I figured. Oh yeah, sorry. Meanwhile, for the side out there is basically of almost 1 inch out, or technically 1 inch out there, but unfortunately I think it would be like maybe 1.5 out there, since it's supposed to be a straight edge blade out there. Meanwhile, for the drop point edge, it's actually is like 1.5 inches, almost. Yep, 1.5 inches. Meanwhile, the overall size is almost 8.5 inches. I'm sorry, old timer, I can't test you on that one. Maybe if I get another one of these, I will certainly make a video about it. So next. Yeah, another one of these guys. So this is from the company, like the temp. It's from Camco, right here. Yep, Camco, USA. And this is actually a two-bladed out there. So you got, well, they're basically just similar size out there. So here, right here is basically with this orange with yellows out there, sprinkled in with some sparkles on there. Which I think most of these pieces I've seen better days out there. So the overall size out there. So the blade tip would have actually been 2 inches out there. Would have actually been like 2 inches. Unfortunately, since it broke off, it's basically 1.5 inch. Meanwhile, for the smaller guy out there, it actually would have been, well, is 1.5 inches. Meanwhile, the overall size is almost 5 it's actually like 5 inches out there. That's yeah, almost 5 inches. So next. Our second last piece is the Boy Scout knife. Yeah, the pocket knife out there. Now, funny part about it, I actually have the mess kits to this. I actually have the mess kits out there. They were separate out there. So let's go see. We got the small blade. Yep, very small blade, and it looks very used out there. Of course, we've got the can opener right here. And of course, the main blade is stuck in there, that I actually needed a multi-tool to pull this thing out. Yeah. See the problem? It's someone just, I think I've seen better days with this thing itself. You can definitely see. Also have the little ring out there. And you got the can opener, got the bottle opener. Well, we got, you know what I'm talking about. So, the main blade was, I'll be right back. I'm gonna go see what's the size about this, the blade itself. Okay, I'm back, and I decide to look up on this thing. And it turns out this is the Imperial light pocket knife, and it actually is meant to be a little bigger out there. It's actually, so let's see the overall. So my thing was only got like almost 1 inch, but the thing itself is actually supposed to be like maybe 2.5 inches. That's my prediction out there. You know, for the very small, tiny blade out there would be basically 1.5 inch, while the bottle opener, flathead screwdriver is nearly to 1 inch. Well, the can opener is basically 1 inch. Meanwhile, the overall size, and by crunching on the numbers out there, actually would have been like 8.5 inches. So, next. And finally, and certainly not least, is this guy. And, yeah, you know why? This is the only blade or piece of component from the pocket knife is. Because one of them is, missing. This, looks like chicken out there, but it's again one of those weird horn things where some of that looks burnt out there. So, yeah, just one small piece out there. So, and here's what the name of the company's from. Right here. I don't know if you can find that, if you can identify that company out there. I would love to know out there. So the blade, should have known, is actually, I think it actually would be a little longer, and this one may be like, this would be like the main piece. So the overall size is going to be 1.5 inches. You can definitely see it from here. Meanwhile, the blade itself would have been like 3 inches out there. Meanwhile, the overall size compared to the 3 would have been around about like maybe 6.5 inches. So let's next, or certainly and not least. Now, the reason why I've actually knowing about these out there. So these are kind of, it's something that you guys can maybe identify out there and some of the stuff out there. So, but there's some cases that sometimes may not be the best and brightest of them all, but it will be, well, again, some people will buy it and, certainly give them love out there. So that wraps up of these guys out there. I'm Mud Boy, and I'm signing out. I'll see you guys next time.